Like this. Will you close that door? You have a lot to cut out there. I think if he ever fucking shows up, he can join us then. But I don't know if he will show up. I have to check my hair, make sure I'm beautiful. Yeah, I'm beautiful. You want to go ahead and say something real quick so I can check the volume?
Huh?
Talking to you, you want to say something real quick so I can check the volume and make sure I can hear you?
No, I'm okay, thank you. I guess.
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, this fucking thing. I have to mess with that later. There's never an easy day doing this. But let's go ahead and transitioning. Transitioning. Why is it not picking up Chrome? Is it picking up Chrome now? I bet it is. Okay, it is. So, Angel, my buddy Angel. Hi.
Hi.
You feel weird?
Yeah, this is the first time that I'm doing this.
The first time you say you're a virgin, and I'm taking that away from you.
Kind of, in a way.
I'll be gentle. So news is that the room is getting finished. It's still a little echoey in here, but we're working on it. But it'll be better in a little bit. Too bad you guys can't see what we see behind. It's a little funny looking, but it'll get better. But at least we won't have any more noises coming in at all. But so again, we are in Cancun, Mexico. Angel lives here. Angel is Mexican, right?
Yeah,
Alright.
I guess.
You guess. This is the first time I've done a one-on-one with this, so this should be interesting. Angel, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Mexico City,
Mexico City.
but I was living in a place called Estado de Mexico. That is
State of
like
Mexico.
that is just a few kilometers away from Mexico City, like a little bit on the north.
So it's called the state. The city is called the state of Mexico.
It is.
You have Mexico City in the state of Mexico in the state of Mexico.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. I have no idea how to explain it in English. Like in Spanish, it makes sense, a lot of sense, but when you try to translate that in English, it doesn't have any sense.
Mm.
Because obviously here in Mexico we have few states, and each one has a regular name, like all the states. But this one, it is just Mexico, Mexico State. That's it. And it's quite funny because it's Mexico City, and the other one used to be Distrito Federal, like the.
That's the main. That's like Distrito Federal is like the capital, right?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
it is. But they changed a little bit in the last year, and now it's not the district anymore. So now it becomes another state, and that's why now is Mexico City instead of the F.
Mexico City is way over here. If this will ever load, it's going really slow. Switch it over so people can take a look. So what we're talking about is over here,
Mm-hmm.
and the state of Mexico
It's between Mexico City and there up there is Hidalgo.
Hidalgo.
It
Okay.
is between those places.
So if we're going close, it might tell us. Lost everything.
Tepoztlan,
But
Tepeji. Yeah, I used to live around there, Tepeji, Tula. Yeah, in that area.
around Mexico City, there's another lesser known to the rest of the world Mayan ruins, or is it? No, it's Aztec.
Aztec, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Aztec. The Aztecs lived up north of Mexico. The Mayans lived down south of it through Central and South America.
Mm-hmm.
But the Aztecs ranged throughout the whole this part and higher of Mexico. What's the name of that place?
Estado de Mexico.
No,
The,
the name of the Mayan or the Aztec
the
city.
Aztecs.
Because it's
Tenochtitlan.
what he said. The ancient Mayans and ancient Aztecs spelled everything with lots of consonants, barely
Yeah.
any vowels in there.
Yeah, actually, if I can say something about that, the Aztecs and the Mayans, they were almost like the Greeks.
And the Romans.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
Romans.
Yeah.
They are quite similar.
Yeah, very.
And also the gods that they own were
They all cross
also
over.
similar. Different names, but so similar.
Like for instance, the most popular is Quetzalcoatl and
Mhm.
Kukulkan. They're the same
Mhm.
same god. Kukulkan is the Mayan one.
Yeah, and Quetzalcoatl is the Aztec one.
They're both giant flying serpent snake
Yeah.
guys, crazy gods. But the city that they have up there in Mexico City, or sorry, the ruins.
Yeah.
It is. Does it have giant structures in it? Like
Mhm.
okay, yeah. I'll have to look that up. I would try to spell it, but Google would tell me I can't say that. Google would tell me I'm stupid if I tried. But yeah, but we're all the way back over here in the Cancuns, where everything is nice and calm. It hasn't rained in the last couple of days, which has been nice because rain.
Because no one is on the street.
Yeah, yeah. It's not super hot, but the rain is. All the people up in the USA right now. Did you know that they are getting bombarded by like the coldest storm in a generation?
Yeah, I hear about. Actually, in my hometown is quite cold too. Like, I cannot say that it's as cold as US, but 2 degrees is way cold for us.
That's weird though if you look at it because Cancun is higher, further north than Mexico City is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not by much, but it is. But yeah, Mexico City they get snow, they have volcanoes, they
Yeah.
have mountains, they have all kinds of stuff. But yet, I think it's probably just a higher elevation.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course we're at sea level. So, but yeah, I mean they are lower in what do you call that? Longitude, latitude.
Yeah, latitude.
Yeah, they're lower on the latitude. That's what it is. They're lower on the latitude. Latitude ladder. That's how I think of it. You climb the ladder.
Yeah.
Escalators. Me and Angel have worked together now for
Almost 1 year.
Almost 1 year. Yeah. He worked in the same hostel before, and then left, and then came back, and I was here. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while that we've been here.
Mm-hmm.
Where all have you traveled to? Because I mean, you've been to Cancun. Where else have you been?
Like I just around here inside of Mexico before to go out, and I been in Michoacan, just Mexican places.
Just different Mexican states.
Yeah,
You've been to most of
I
them.
no, not really. Like there is few of them there they are not really safe now. So it is better just to go with few of them. And I was actually traveling with my family when I was younger, when I was a child. We traveled like almost every year.
Yeah.
We went to many places in Mexico. So, but after almost 30 years, I don't know Mexico.
It's fine. There's a lot of people that have never left their home in the United States
Yeah.
either. It's the same in every country. You always find people that only know the area where they live.
Yeah, of
They
course.
don't know anything else around. For instance, I've told you this before. A lot of Americans don't know that New Mexico is a state in the
Oh, yeah.
United States. They, like, whenever I used to live there, and I would go to other places like, say, Minnesota or New York or somewhere up north, even like Florida or something, and I would tell people I'm from New Mexico, and they're like, "Oh, you don't look Mexican." I'm like, it's a state in the United States. Thank you, education system. Yeah, it's pretty silly the way that some people are. They just don't know what is around them or what they are a part of.
Mm.
But it's nice that you're trying to know your own country and move around. But that's not your final goal though, is it? You want to go somewhere really cool.
Yeah, and it's actually really far too.
It's really far. Angel wants to go to Japan, and you're working on getting there.
Actually, that's something interesting. Let me show you something.
Oh,
That
we have a
that
show
I,
and tell.
whoa, oops, that I actually got today.
Yeah, you got a letter from your friend.
Mm-hmm. This is the invitation letter to go to Japan and study.
You got your student visa. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it says in Japanese. Looks super official. So your friend hooked you up with that. That is awesome. He gets to go to Japan, people. He's gonna go to Japan. So you have to fill this out and send it back?
No, this is like a letter from the persons who are taking, they are gonna take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whenever I'm going to Japan, I'm gonna stay with them, and they are gonna like.
So you actually
I will live with them.
So they're gonna like host you.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be your host. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they are.
And how long is it good for?
As long as I don't need a visa, a real visa to stay in Japan, I just need to have a place or a person who hosts me.
And as long as they're good with you, you can stay
And
there.
I will have the possibility to stay there by 1 year.
After you've been there for a year, you can stay there forever.
No.
Oh,
No,
you
no.
can stay
As long
there
as
forever.
I'm studying.
So you're gonna go to school while you're there?
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna study?
Well, I was thinking about like
Japanese.
Japanese pastry.
Japanese pastries.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that's right. Because Angel is a cook. So learning to do Japanese pastries. That's
Like the most traditional things.
yeah. That sounds. I'm trying to think if I've ever had like an actual Japanese like pastry of some sort or like baked good. I've only ever had like Japanese candies and stuff like that, and they're all really weird.
They are actually weird because their candies are not sweet.
No, they're not. They're usually super spicy or sour, like super sour too.
Mm-hmm. And they also have this like green tea they call matcha.
Yeah, they have the matcha stuff too. It's
Mhm.
very strong flavored.
It is it's actually
Like the same as what
quite
David
yeah
brought back.
quite similar to
Yeah.
the Chinese ones that David bring
Yeah,
bring
David,
to us.
our boss David brought back. He went to China for a few months, a couple of months ago, and he brought back a whole bunch of snacks and stuff from China, and from
And the chicken legs.
oh yeah, and they had packaged chicken. I wish we had some right now. I would make him eat one. I would eat it. The dogs loved it. They were super spicy, but they were just like pre-packaged individual chicken feet. And they were not the best thing in the world that you could eat as a snack, but people love it, I guess. And the durian fruit stuff.
At
that
least
was
in
good.
China they love it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I've never seen the Chinese people eat it. I'm sure maybe it's a joke for them too that they buy from
Me,
each other.
me neither.
Like,
Like
dare
I,
you to eat this.
I know the Koreans eat it too.
Hmm. Just like we were talking about the balut. I know they have that in a lot of Asian countries. The fertilized eggs.
Mm.
They have those.
Oh,
They're like almost a hatched baby chicken inside or duck inside an egg, like the body and head and legs and
that
everything.
sounds so
And-
yummy.
Yeah, and people just eat it. Like,
Or the other thing, the 100 years egg.
oh yeah, where they. It's not actually 100 years old, but yes, there's a thing called 100 years egg. Explaining to you what it is not gonna do it justice, but the I forgot exactly how they do it, but I think they don't actually. It's not actually 100 years old. It's just
It's kind of marinated.
yeah, it's marinated in something, and it looks. I mean, I think it's vinegar that they put in it, or something that makes it delicious. I guess you could call it delicious. But here I will show this. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this before. It's kind of gross. There we go. It should be showing it. Is it showing it? It's showing it. Yeah. This thing looks super weird.
It's not the most satisfying thing that I ever tried.
I don't think I would ever try one. But like the eggshell itself is completely black, and then
Yeah.
there's something wrong with the what do you call that? Not the yolk. The yolk is this part. The white stuff.
The white stuff.
The white stuff. But in this is the weird amber colored stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know exactly what they do to these things, but they're weird looking and scary. I would show you balut, but that's super disgusting. It's super disgusting. That's our Twitter feed, but yeah, that's that. Ugh, I can't.
Yeah, not something that you really want to try.
But who knows? It might be the most delicious thing that you've ever tasted in your life. But just because of what we know and what it looks like, we'll probably never taste it.
No, I did, and actually, I didn't like it.
Oh, you did try it?
Yeah, I did.
Ooh.
And it has a really strong flavor of egg, and also like something is like rotten.
Yeah. It's probably fermented.
Yeah, of
Of
course.
some.
Like
part,
it-
but,
After a few days, obviously.
yeah.
But
100-year.
the
It's
no.
just funny that they call it 100-year-old egg.
Mm,
What's it, a century egg?
like obviously it's not 100 years, like,
No.
but still it's so weird.
It's kind of like
And-
kimchi, right? Kimchi is
Oh,
the same.
yeah.
But kimchi's weird because they they actually will ferment it for a long time. And they'll like bury it underground. Come in! Ah, what?
Okay.
Okay, gracias. Somebody just brought me keys to the house. It was very nice of them. So, I think everything is working, right? It's funny, the forced perspective of the camera makes you seem so much smaller than me. Everybody looks like I'm a giant in the camera. And then everybody else is super tiny.
Yep.
Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, Japan. That's cool, man, that you get to go there. When do you plan on actually leaving?
Well, sometime between July.
July.
I was before I was thinking about something like March. It is like really soon, and I need to
You gotta save up a lot of money.
yeah, save some money
Because
before to go.
Japan is not a cheap place to go to.
Even if I have a host family.
Yeah. At least you don't have to worry about rent. Or are you still
No.
gonna have to pay them rent?
No, obviously not.
But do you know which city? Does it say which city it is?
It's in the north of Japan. It's called Monbetsu.
Okay. Let's take a look at that. Let's look and see where that is. Let's go back to maps. Maps. So we're here, and you, whoop, other way. We're gonna fly way on the other side of the world,
There is.
on the north side of Japan. I wonder if it's a big city. Is it over here?
Yeah, Sapporo.
Oh, it's near Sapporo.
Mm-hmm.
What is this island called? Do you know?
No, I know they.
Hokkaido?
Yeah,
I guess that's yeah, the state of Hokkaido.
I know they have different like areas. They call it different way.
What is the name of the city again?
Monbetsu.
Monbetsu. I see Noboribetsu. Is it a tiny town? Oh, there
Yeah.
it is right there. Monbetsu. Ugh. Well, it looks like it's gonna be cold. Cause it is way
Yeah, actually they told me that it is
very
a
cold.
really good place to ski.
Really?
Mhm.
They have mountains though?
Mm-hmm.
In that part? That's cool. Is this part of Russia up here? Yeah, it is. That's crazy. You'll be so close to Russia too.
Yeah.
That's an island in Russia. I didn't know that. There's more Russian stuff over there. Russian Nature Reserve. There's a whole bunch of island chains here too. Those looks like half of them are owned by Russia, the other half are owned by Japan. Well, that's cool though. On the north side of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is the range here? It says that is 200 kilometers. So, huh. Let's take a look at what the water looks like over there. Looks blue. The water's blue. That's good.
Usually.
It's a little town. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be nice and quiet for you. Actually, it's about medium size. It's not. It doesn't look super tiny, but it's got a nice port there. There's the shop right up there. There's the shop. That's what it says. Shop. Coast Guard station. Sports Center, Crab Claw statue. You're gonna have to take a picture of the Crab Claw statue. That place sounds interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
Wow, but it's still looking like super tiny place.
Excuse me. It looks tiny compared to a lot of the other parts. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's at the bottom of a mountain of some sort. It looks like there's a big mountain there, and then there's more mountains back behind. But there's one right here, with runoffs going down through the city. So there's probably fresh water coming down all the time whenever it rains. It looks like should be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of forest around you can go play in.
Yep.
It's one thing you can't really do here.
No.
But, like you can go to the edge of the forest here, and then just go, okay, I did it, and then go back because because you can't get through. It's so thick. That jungle is crazy here. Oh crap! Did I not have it on the thing where we were looking at? I don't think I did. I didn't switch it over. I'll switch it over real quick so people can see. Right there. That's where it is. The north side of Japan. It's right there. I thought I had it switched over, but I didn't. I'm a terrible production person. But yeah, that's super fun. So you're gonna go in July. Well, at least you'll be going there in the summertime. That way you can acclimate to your first winter experience.
Yeah, maybe.
You're gonna have to buy a lot of winter clothes because if you're gonna
I do
do-
have
you do have some from whenever you lived in Mexico.
But obviously I don't have any here.
No.
It's, yeah, bring some winter clothes here is gonna be useless.
Yeah.
But I need to go back home and then
Grab all the stuff that you can
Mhm.
use and go back. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. The
I was actually thinking about to go some another place before to go Japan. Like Leo, you remember Leo?
yeah, our buddy Leo.
Yeah.
Little crazy Leo.
Yeah. He's still in Europe working.
He's still in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
He's been there for 6 months now.
No,
No,
more. Like
8 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's almost 1 year over there.
Almost
like-
1 year.
He left in April, I guess.
That's crazy. He's been over there that long. I can't
Yeah.
remember that. So before coming to Cancun, have you stayed in a hostel before?
Yeah, in Mexico City, I was actually working and staying in another hostel.
You were working in a hostel up there.
Mhm.
What's the name of that hostel?
The name is Mundo Joven. Like
Oh,
actually,
The
it
same one
was
that's around the corner?
a Mundo Joven over here. But
There still
closed.
is?
No, they closed.
Oh, they closed down.
Yeah,
Mundo Joven. That means young world.
yeah, that is actually
world.
in the downtown.
Yeah. Mundo Joven. I've never been to the one that was here. I didn't know it was closed.
Yeah, they like 1 or 2 months ago.
Yeah. Cool.
And I was working there at the bar. It was actually just a little. It was a good place
Yeah.
to work because they didn't pay me a lot, like 200 pesos.
Okay.
But I was doing, the tips,
Yeah, at least you were
and
getting tips.
I was earning around 600 pesos of tips.
A day.
Yeah, a day.
That's not bad.
Plus
At least you were getting tips.
the 250 pesos. That was a really nice amount.
Yeah.
I was just working the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and
Well, at least you had extra money. A lot of people, that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's actually kind of like a regular pay in Mexico is roughly around 200 pesos. 200 to 300 is regular pay, but a lot of people will work for tips too.
Yep.
In a lot of places, the tips is where it's at in Cancun. That's how people make a lot of money. If you can find a good job
yeah.
around tourists that you make tips at, you can make a lot of money.
Yep.
Which,
Right.
and it's not hard to survive here in Cancun.
Well, there is also because there is nothing to do here.
There's lots to do here.
Well-
going on trips, going to all the different theme parks that they have here.
Yeah, if you are like a hot weather person and you want to go and
Play
swim,
on the beach and do
Yeah.
all water sports activities. Yeah, there's lots to do. I don't like the sun. It's hot.
me neither.
I like it when it's raining outside because then I can go outside and not be dying of heat. I am a winter person, but it's funny that I've lived here for so long, and
Quite long.
Yeah, and I haven't. I think I've lived here longer than you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long you been here?
6 years.
6 years. That's crazy. Because here is not only the hot weather, it's the humidity. It
Yeah.
is so crazy. That was the first impression that I had about Cancun the first time that I arrived.
The humidity is pretty intense. It took a while for my hair to get used to it.
It's 80% here.
Yeah, all the time. At least 80%.
Back home is like 15%.
I lived in a state in the U.S., in Arizona. A lot of people know about Arizona. It's a desert. The whole entire place is pretty much a desert. And it is 0% humidity. But I can't remember the Celsius translation of it. But in Fahrenheit, in the summertime, for like 2-3 months of the year, it's roughly between 100 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is roughly around 42 degrees Celsius.
Celsius.
I think that's what it is, 42. Somebody can research that later. 40 to 42, yeah, it's hot for that long period of time. Never rains. It's just, nobody goes outside. The people that do go outside, they're on the news that evening for having heat strokes. You know? It's pretty crazy. I can't believe that anybody would want to move there. But and in Phoenix, they trick you as well. They put palm trees everywhere throughout the city. That way, people go, "Oh, we must be in a tropical paradise." I'm like, no, you're not. It's all a lie.
Still
Like anywhere, any moment now, we're gonna turn a corner and that will be the beach. No, there's nothing. There's a lake there. That's about it. And it's far away from the city. But it's so hot there. It's ridiculous. Plus, they have those giant storms, those big sandstorms.
Yeah.
I think I showed you those before. You only think that they exist in movies, but they're real. They're scary. You don't realize how scary they are until you see your first one. And you're just, nature is crazy, man.
Yeah.
Nature's crazy. But in Japan, whenever you go there, you're going to have to get to used to, like I said, winter. You've never really had a winter like what you're going to see over there.
No.
Like they'll have like full on 3-4 month long winters.
Yep.
And lots of snow. I bet that town gets snowed in.
I told you, they told me there is a good place to ski.
Yeah. And
or snowboard.
also you're going to be on the Ring of Fire. All the volcanic activity throughout the Pacific. It's all contained in one area. Japan's right along it.
Yeah, and the earthquakes.
Yeah, that's what happens when the Ring of Fire. All the earthquakes are going off, the tsunamis all the time.
Yeah.
All that
And it's
fun
actually
stuff.
a coast.
Yeah, it's right on the water. So that should be fun. I think last summer or the summer before, there was an earthquake off the shore here, off the coast.
I think.
It didn't really do anything, I don't think. But yeah, there was one. I want to see it was last summer or the summer before. There was an earthquake off the coast. Some areas got flooded, but nothing really happened here. I think that's why there was all that extra seaweed and stuff on the beach, like in Playa and places like that. That was really bad. Have you been to Chicken Pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been to Chicken
And
Pizza.
actually, it was the first time that I was here. I went to Chichen Itza.
Yeah, that place.
There is not my favorite place here.
No. What's your
Like,
favorite?
I will say Bacalar.
Bacalar.
Bacalar is amazing.
They have ruins in Bacalar?
Yeah.
Oh. No.
There is actually one place called the Pirates Route.
Okay.
So Bacalar, it was a place they used to fight with pirates.
So the pirates would always come in there and use the area and fight
Mm-hmm.
and stuff.
a beautiful place. Nothing to compare about Cancun, and it's quiet, and also the people, everything there is so different. You can imagine that you are in another region, but no, still Quintana Roo.
Bacalar is south of here. It's past no.
It's around 300 kilometers from here.
Yeah, it's well past Tulum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just trying to
it's
picture it in my head where it is on the map. I don't
Like-
know, but
it is Cancun, and then Playa del Carmen, and then Tulum, and then
Bacalar.
what was the
Sian
name?
Khan is down there too, just south of Tulum.
What was it?
The Sian Khan.
Mm-hmm. And then like right in the bottom is Bacalar,
Okay.
like almost in the border with Guatemala.
Yeah, because there's no roads that go through Sian Khan. I think you have to go around it
Mm.
to get there. Because Sian Khan is the big nature preserve. I think it's one of the largest in Mexico. The big nature preserve, Sian Khan. Let's take a look. Sian Khan. And we can see where Bacalar is. Hey, look, there's Hawaii. So we're talking, right? Oop, why is that always? I'm so used to playing with the Mac while I'm working, and then come to this computer and everything's different. So, yeah, here's Sian Khan. I think it goes through this whole area. So there's Tulum, and you have to go around. Where's Bacalar? There it is. Right there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's way down there. It's past Sian Khan. And if we switch views, we should be able to see the Sian Khan preserve. It's not really. I think it's. Yeah, it's all this area right here. I'm sitting at the side, so I can't really see it. Oh no, this one looks bigger. Calakmul.
Calakmul.
Whatever that is. Yeah, where Bacalar is right here. Yeah, because Kova is right there. That's another big ruins that people go to. Tulum, my favorite. I've said that before. Cozumel. One thing that a lot of people don't realize when they come here that you've heard a bunch of times is like, hey, I want to go to Chichen Itza tomorrow. And you're like, you realize that it's not just a go around the corner and there it is
Yeah.
thing. It's all
It's going
the
to
way
another
over
state.
here. Now you're going into another state. You're actually going into the Yucatan to get to it. It's right. It's right here next to Valladolid,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. What the fuck? Where is it? Why doesn't it show it? Anyways, it's next to Valladolid. It's over here. But yeah, it's a long journey down the big freeway.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of tourist buses going back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, Chichen is way over there. And everybody thinks, oh, it's just right here. No.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like Tulum and the other one are just about the same. And I'm not on the thing again showing people. I'm just terrible today. Let's look at that again real quick. We're saying Bacalar is right down here. And we're all the way up here in Cancun. And Chichen Itza is over here in Valladolid. Or near Valladolid. And Coba is in between those two. That's another city. Another ancient place. Akumal is cool. You've done Akumal.
No.
No? It's just a cool little beach where all the turtles hang out. People go there to see turtles because they're endangered.
And why they are going to see the turtle?
I don't know. No. That's the thing.
It's not that like
I've told people this before that, my whole life when I was growing up, they're like, oh, save the sea turtles. They're going extinct. They're endangered species. You get out here and they're just everywhere. And you just have to push them out of the way whenever you go in the ocean. There's so many out there. Go to, like I said, Aquamal. There's hundreds of them out there, just cruising around doing their thing. And like these things are not endangered. They're everywhere. It's like saying the cockroach is endangered. It's not. They're everywhere. I'm sure some scientist is gonna go, oh, well, that's not true. I don't. You haven't seen them like I have. They're everywhere. There's no problem with turtles. There are lots of them. They have like 500 eggs every time they lay eggs.
Wow.
Not really 500. I'm exaggerating, but there's a lot. You can go walking on the beach here at night and you just see all the little baby turtles going and just cruising out. It's pretty crazy. They're everywhere. No shortage of turtles in Cancun or the whole Mayan Riviera. This was just a quick throw together thing tonight, so I didn't expect for it to go too long, but we can go ahead and end it now because I know you want to go home and do your home stuff.
Sleep mostly. Because tomorrow is actually my day off.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. But every day's kind of a day off whenever you live here. Even if you're working, it's not really.
Yeah, I think that's one of the points, the main points that you didn't realize that it's been a long time since you came here.
Yeah.
Because usually it's so chill that you don't realize that the time is flying away from you.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like I've been here for 6 years. And you've been here for roughly 2
years,
2
and a
years?
half, almost.
Yeah, 2.5. Yeah. This place is crazy.
Yeah. It's been actually long time. And I think it doesn't feel like 2 years.
No.
Or 6 years, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah.
but one of the things about this place, Cancun in general, I think, like going back to the real life in the city, going back to Mexico City is a little bit hard.
Yeah.
Because
I've told people this before. I don't know if I could function back in the real world anymore. Like, yeah, back in the States or in a big city environment or something. I don't think I could do it anymore. I wouldn't know how to do it. I'd probably just go into a huge, big depression and just be sad. Just sit in a corner all by myself. Yeah. I want to go back to the slow life and eat tacos all day. Well, you can do that in a big city, in Mexico City, but it's not the same.
yeah, no, it's not the same. Yeah, Cancun is.
It's very relaxed.
Yeah.
It's a big city with a no city type feel to it.
Mhm.
All right. Well, on that, we're gonna end it today. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff on YouTube, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.